Salut, you are about to register your French business and you just have a doubt as to whether or not you want to share your personal address in your business registration. Well, in this video, I'm going to share with you 4 reasons why you may not want to use your personal address for your business and what can you do instead. So the first reason why you may not want to use your personal address for your business is that you are currently renting and your landlord said no. Legally, you need to ask your landlord for his or her approval in order to use the house address for the business when you have what we call activité commerciale, so that's buy to resell, e-commerce shop, or whether you are activité artisanale. So for those by law, you need to ask for the approval. Which means whether you are a builder, you're a trade, you buy to resell, you have to ask that before, and your landlord will have to sign an attestation to confirm that they allow you to use this address for your business from such a date, and we will need this in order to register your business. For a profession libérale, so if you're a consultant coach, you don't legally need to ask your landlord, but it's just best practice to actually ask your landlord before you use the address, as it will be published in business directories. If your landlord says no, stay with me. I'm going to talk to you about PO Box, adresse de domiciliation, which will be the alternative for you. So the second reason why you may not want to use your personal address for your business is that you plan to move or buy a house in maybe 3, 6 to 12 months. And in that case, I strongly recommend that you hold your horses and probably set up a PO box. Why do I recommend this? Well, basically, when we register your business in France, in the first 3 to 4 months, you're going to be receiving a lot of postal mail. Yeah, postal mail, we're in France, and you're going to be receiving some very important documents from Impôt, URSSAF, and also for your health cover. And to me, the key one is health cover. When I register some micro entrepreneurs, it's very normal for someone who hasn't been in France before, who doesn't have a French social security number, to have or to need 3 to 4 months in order to fully set up their health cover in France until they get the carte vitale, which is a little green card you take to go and see the doctor. And if you move in between, applying or creating your business and getting that final card, you can really mess things up, and even worse if you move to a different department without realizing. And basically CPAM, which is Caisse d'Assurance Maladie, the body handling your health cover, quite often they don't talk to each other from one department to the other. So we are in a black hole of not being able to set up your health cover. So if you are moving to France, and for instance, you might have rented an Airbnb because you're on a business visa and you want to take some time to find a flat you really want to rent, or you want to buy something, make sure you do set up a PO box, because otherwise it could seriously mess up your health. The third reason you may not want to use your personal details is that maybe when you do arrive in France, you're going to be staying with friends and they don't quite feel comfortable you using their address for your business, probably because they're scared of the address being published on business directories, which it will be, and probably because they're worried about having extra taxes, which they won't. The only taxes that will be liable for the business is taxe foncière des entreprises, CFE, and is due by you, not by your friends. So if you paying the little tax, there won't be any impact for your friends. So if that's the case, your friends are already being very kind enough to having you staying with them for free, then in that case, just set up a PO box, adresse de domiciliation, so they don't get extra worried, and at least you split up your business from their place, and it's a nice clean cut for both of you. The fourth reason why you may not want to share your personal details is maybe that you're working as a coach or as a therapist and you don't really want to have your personal details published online. In that case, you would do a PO box. I've also had the case with some of my customers where they didn't want to be chased or traced, and in that case we were using the PO box as a way to hide where they were, and we also chose a PO box in a different department, so it was a nice clean cut to protect their privacy. Another reason for this, for instance, is if you had you're building a brand and you wanted to sound very plush and luxurious, you might actually want to set up a PO box in Paris, whether they're in La Creuse or in Bergerac. So that would be another reason why you might want to use another address for your business. Now, how do you set up a PO box? Now, in France, this is called adresse de domiciliation. A lot of vowels in that word, adresse de domiciliation. I just call it PO box. And basically, this is going to be used as what we call the adresse commerciale. So on your business papers, adresse commerciale is the address that appears on your business papers, so on all your advertising, your website, and so on. But when you get to register, when you do your quotes and your invoices, this is the adresse commerciale. But in the back end, the tax office knows where you live because they need to be able to trace you. So what's very important is that the PO box has to be set up before you register your business, because we will need a copy of the domiciliation contract when we get to register the business, and we'll need to know the address that you've chosen to base as your adresse commerciale, as your business address. Just know also that the PO box company needs to know where you live. So whenever we are registering the business and whenever we are setting up the PO box, the PO box company needs to know always where you live, so you have to update them. If you keep on moving, you always tell them where you are, because once a year they have to inform the tax office of what is your official address. That's the legal requirement. And then when we get to register your business, we mention both your private address and your business address, adresse commerciale, which would be the PO box, but you will also make sure that we mention that none of the mail goes to your private address. Everything goes to the business address, and that your personal details are kept private. Now, what is the timescale and process of setting up a PO box? Now, the good news is that setting up a PO box in France can be pretty fast, and if you were in the process of registering your business and just realized you wanted to hide your details, or your landlord said no, it doesn't matter. It can be fixed within a couple of days with that new PO box address. So I'm working with a company called Se Domicilier, and they enable you to create your PO box within a couple of days. And I'll add a link below where you can look at the service on the PO box, or where you can also book a call with Oscar, who also speaks English, so you can talk about the setup, the process, and how this is going to be working. Now, before you go ahead and set up that PO box, you want to think about a few questions. So where do you want this PO box to be? Is it important for your customers and partners to have a nice address? Do they want you, if you live in the middle of nowhere, is it better to be in a bigger town close to where you are? Does it need to be shown as being in Paris? Will it have an impact for your customers? And also, where is the nearest site to you? So if you speak to Ce Domicilier, they are covering the whole of France, and you can have several different services where either the postal mail is scanned and sent to you by email, or you can go and pick it up. So in some case, sometimes you can just go and pick up your mail, which might be handed for you, or you might want your mail to be actually posted to you. In that case, how often do you want to be posted to you? Because once a month might be a bit short when you set up your business, especially at the start where we receive a lot of legal papers. Et voilà, you now know the reason why you might want to set up a PO box for your business, and you also have the contact details from Ce Domicilier in the video description if you want to arrange a call with them to help you with this. If you need extra help to register your business, you might want to get in touch with me. I offer a micro entrepreneur registration service, and I've been registering hundreds of micro entrepreneurs over the years, and that's a way to save you time and just get rid of all the hassle, because I will be taking over the registration process. Et voilà, à bientôt!